there's a setup that is happening. That one of the brother-in-law who died, the girlfriend must get married to your husband.
Yeah.
A marriage of 14 years, 11 months, ended over the phone. We were together for 16 years. So the marriage ended over the phone until today. If my mother was still alive, she would have collapsed right there, because my mother was so supportive.
Welcome to the Safe Space Chats podcast with Madam Speaker. My name is Perseverance Marimeni, also known as Madam Speaker, also known as the CEO of Self-Love. If you're joining for the first time, welcome to the family of healing, self-love, and motivation. And if you're returning, thank you so much for the continuous love and support that you are showing us. Today, we have another Madam Speaker here, so it's going down. You don't want to miss it. But also, before we even get into the episode of today, I just want to say a big shout out to Sen Studios, our home. We are recording at 7 Cedric Road, Isandovale. Wozan Bazalwane, come through and record here and share your stories also with us if you want, okay? Anyway, I have a guest, my darling.
Yes, Queen.
How are you?
I am well and blessed, thank you. And how are you doing?
I'm doing great, thank you. Please introduce yourself to the people at home.
Okay. Nontombi is the queen of Batopili principles, the queen of resilience, and the queen of action. That is Nontombi Luthuli from Khayelitsha, but yeah, she's currently based in Pretoria. Yes, that's
How was life like growing up in Khayelitsha?
Oh, I had the best life ever in Khayelitsha, because I experienced life in different ways, you know. I had all the seasons in Cape Town. Yeah, but for me, Cape Town is you know, the mother city is beautiful, but life was good. Life was great, but I'm enjoying Pretoria as well. Yes.
And then how did you find yourself coming this side from Khayelitsha?
From Cape Town, it was starting a new life. It was in 2021 after my painful divorce. So I needed to start afresh. I didn't want to go home. I didn't want to go back home to my mother's place. I said I needed to start afresh. So I came to Pretoria in 2021. That is where I found myself sleeping on the floor, coming to Pretoria. Yes.
Yo, you know what? I think when you speak about it to say you had to start afresh and move this side, it sounds like it's a simple transaction. But I think a lot of people don't understand and realize how deep and how much it takes out of you as a person to actually get out of all of that and be where you are today. So would you like to take us through just the process of you meeting the person that you were married to, you getting married, the marriage itself, and how you ended here?
Wow, you know, it wasn't easy. When you talk about transition, it's so deep that it wasn't easy when I took this decision. Remember, when you don't even have parents, I even thought, good, if my mom was there, it was going to be better. It wasn't easy at all, but yeah, man, I had to come and start afresh. I met this charming, you know, dark, you know, tall and handsome. That was then, you know. I met him, that was in 2003, and I was still a police officer then. And my father just, it was before my father died. He was my uncle's best friend, you know, my youngest uncle's best friend. So I met him through my uncle in Cape Town. He was from Bila in Limpopo. So when we met, it was a matter of supporting me, comforting me, because I was going through the most that time. It was in September. My father, my uncle died on the 1st of September. That was Monday. My uncle died on my father died on the 5th of September, which is Friday. My uncle and my father, they were best friends, you know. So, and my uncle, after my father decided to leave my mother, he was the father figure in my life. So now when he passed on, a father figure was gone in my life. And painful enough is that he died while I was giving him food. I was giving him food in my mother's room. He died and I was there, my mother was there. And it wasn't easy for us. It was on a Monday. On a Thursday, Friday night, somebody, on a Friday, somebody called the family and said, my father was found in Mossel Bay. So we're all excited because my father left. We didn't know his whereabouts. So somebody from the family, Usisuzu, called the family and said, he found my father in Mossel Bay. We were all excited. So now I'm a police officer. I had to work night shift. So the family was busy preparing for my uncle's prayer meetings and everything. So that Friday night, I had to go to work, but my uncle came to my office, to my work. And then they were looking for me. I was wearing uniform. And then they came to Inspector Kleinhans looking for me. I was like, what is it now? Because tomorrow morning we planned to go to my father, to go and fetch him, in fact. Because I was excited that I'm working now. I'm so bold. I want my father back.
Yeah.
So as we were going, and as we were working, they came and then asked for me. And then I had to be released from work. And then when we got home, I was told that my father passed away.
Without even meeting him.
I said, no, man, I was looking forward to meet my father. What is this now? The following day, we had to go to Mossel Bay. It's about 4 hours, 5 hours from Cape Town. That's where I met the ex-husband. So what happened is, on the way, I wasn't eating, I wasn't doing anything. I was just numb and crying because I wanted to see his body. That's what I wanted to see. Because my uncle is in the morgue, now him. No, I don't understand this, all of this. So we had to drive. And when we got there, on the way, we had to go to the restaurants, buying food. I wasn't eating. So he wasn't okay that I wasn't eating. So he came to me, offering me food, trying to console me. Yes. But he cared for me a lot. That's how I noticed, he cares, And then we had to go to the funeral. So the first week, my parents, they are neighbors. However, the funeral had to be separated because of family feuds. If I had, powers then, I was going to tell them, man, what you are doing is wrong. We are supposed to bury them in one day because they are neighbors, they are friends. So it's not
And also
like
just the
different
expenses
villages. It's the same village, neighbors. But anyway, we had to spend twice. This week it was my uncle. The following week it was my father's. So he was there and he supported the family, He even gave a car to transport the children of the family. Most when there's funeral, there will be those who doesn't have money. So he gave a car to say he will pay the petrol, his own car, and then we traveled together. So that's how I met him. So yeah, man, everything was smooth and he was so loving, supportive. When we came back, he asked me to go and accompany him to Durban. He's going to bury his friend. So we had to go there. It was Uputimkari. And so I had to go because I was still on leave, I was still sick of my father. So I needed to go away. And my mother being strict, but funny enough, when it comes to him, he allowed him to come to my room, to come and spend time. And he was, I don't know whether I would say he was loving because he bought things, it was extra,
Yeah.
He was extreme. Buying a Red Bull 6, buying it some more.
He's an
4,
extremist.
Okay, wow. He would come home to visit twice, 3 times. I mean, really? Okay, fine. You had to go to Durban. But in Durban, in Newcastle, we were then given a place to sleep, Rondaville. And then they said, we are a couple. I said to the lady, Lindo, Lindo, we are not a couple. Why? I'm not a couple with him. I need my own space to sleep, and because he's his friend. So I was just driving, helping him to drive. And then he was pinching me, no, man, don't act like a child here. Because we are a couple. Like, no, we are not. And that time for me, it was like, Aibo, Kanti, what happened here? And so we had to go back. And then I respect him for that because he said, we are given a rendezvous with a double bed. And then I said to him, if you are sleeping in that bed, I'm not going to sleep with you in that bed. I'll sleep on the floor. He said, no, let me rather sleep on the floor than when I sleep in bed. And I was like scared because I'm sleeping with him for the first time. But then he respected me until December 2003, where we all get there. And he called me. He was this side in Gauteng. He called me and he had to pick me up at Park Station. That's where we started dating. And so he then sent people home for Ilobola and all that. So that's how it started. And then we were blessed with a child, which is Tsepo, my son. So my book is named after my son, Tsepo, my hope. So I named my son Tsepo. So we had a son in 2005. We were blessed with Utsepo. So that's how it started, you know. So we started there. It was lovey-dovey. It was beautiful. But then one thing about him, he was one person who was always there for my family. He supported, you know, respected my mother and everyone. But when tables turned, wow, I couldn't believe. Uguti is this person. But I must say to you, from the onset, red flags were there. But Mina, being this person that I am, I told myself, "Good, he's gonna change."
What type of red flags do you think, or did
He
you
cheated
ignore?
on me.
Okay.
He cheated on me. He kept on lying, and I ignored those red flags. I was in denial. Oh, good, he's gonna change, man. He loves me, and yeah, man, he's gonna change. He's gonna change. That was what I believed in.
Yeah.
So I kept myself in this cage that was not even locked from day one. Because I remember when my son was born, the Friday, 22nd of April, he took me to hospital. And that day I was not going to give birth. I was just go there for a checkup. But because of emergency, I had to give birth then because my son was supposed to be born on the 27th of April. So that day, you know what he did? He came to hospital on Friday. It was a Friday. And then Saturday, it was only my mother and my brother, my brother who was shot. So he didn't come to hospital the following day. But guess what? It was God's grace. There is this gift in me that I don't even understand until today, where I will receive a call from somebody talking about me.
Oh.
And that person not realizing that
They dialed
they
your number.
dialed my number. That's what happened to him. He was with his girlfriend. On Saturday, C-section, I'm in hospital, I'm in pain, I can't even cough. And he's with another woman. This call, I'm just hearing this call. He's talking about me with this woman. And you could hear that they are sitting on the bonnet of the car. And this lady is getting cold, is giving the jacket. That was the conversation they had.
So you listened to the whole thing?
I'm listening to the whole thing. I'm in pain. C-section, I can't even put my foot on the floor because it's painful. Yeah.
So what was the conversation? What were they saying in the conversation?
The lady was getting cold, as I'm saying, Kuti, I could hear Kuti, they were sitting on the bonnet of the vehicle and they were in Harare, in Khayelitsha, Cape Town. And I hear those, they were saying, she was getting cold and he was giving her his jacket. They were talking about me. Ukuthi, now I had that one, man, don't worry about her. You know, all those things, you know. And yeah, I heard what they were talking about, that he loves her, you know, more than me. Those are the things that I ignored because that was 2005. Yes.
You're still
And
in
I only
denial.
decided to quit in 2020. I was still in denial. And I was under the impression that he will change. And he did not change. Instead, he became worse. And I'm saying, good age is just a number because he was older than me. I was married to someone who was 11 years older than me. I thought he was matured. He was not matured. I'm the one who was matured, like, more than him because I was born 1981, he was born 1970. Yeah.
You know this thing of always saying people must grow up or they will grow up eventually. For me, it never makes sense because who you are, how do you outgrow yourself if you're gonna make bad decisions? That's just who you are for the rest of your life.
Yes.
So after coming out of the hospital, did you ever confront him about the phone call?
I did, however, he was always denying everything. At some point in some of the incidents, I would feel, maybe it's me, there's something wrong with me. He would make me feel, there's something wrong with you. He
twist
will
the whole thing
deny to a
around.
point of you feeling that, now man, it's me. Maybe there's something wrong with me.
Question your own
Yes,
sanity.
questioning myself, yes. Yes.
Sure. So after the baby, now you come back home from the hospital. How is life like with the new baby in the picture?
Life is good, but let me tell you something that I didn't tell you before then. You know, I was sleeping in my pillow, had tears, you know, because I always cried each and every night because he won't come home. Remember that time I was still pregnant. I was even told that I used to hear from my mom to say, if you are playing loud music in the car, because I loved loud music, your son, your child will be, you know, a crybaby. If you are crying, your child will have this small heart and you know,
very impatient and
yes,
short-tempered.
and yeah. So my mom used to say that, could say your son will be short-tempered and all that. So I used to cry. like cry, because he would leave me Friday and come back on Monday. Those are red flags that I ignored. So I gave birth to my son, and everything was fine. He will be on and off. And I recall raising my child. I'm saying, I raised my child alone,
Even though you were married.
even though I was married. And raising a child is not about money. Yes, financially he was there as a father, but physically he was not there. Emotionally he was not there, because I recall when my son was going through a high school. From crèche to grade one, he was not there as a father. I had to go and look for his suits. I had to go and look for his tiny shoes, and they were wearing black black what you call it, suits. I had to go and look for a suit from Edgar's, and I was all alone.
Sure.
Guess what? Where he was?
With the
He
girlfriend.
was with a girlfriend, and he was throwing a party for a girlfriend in Hermanus in Cape Town, and it was an all-white party. And when I was on my way to Belleville, Midstart Mall, to buy that suit, he was on his way to Belleville, to Hermanus. And then he said he was going to work. He was the person who was always busy. Each and every weekend, he's very busy at work. And now I was the understanding wife, but he's very busy. So going to sports, I was all alone. Kandi all along, he was going to girlfriends. He was taking girlfriends to casinos, spending monies. That was his life.
Sure.
Yes.
So, Mara, my sister, I want to understand from the part where you say yes to this guy and you guys get married. Ne? How long does it take before, or is it immediately? Immediately after you guys get married, then he starts showing you these colors of him having multiple girlfriends and leaving you for the whole weekend. Did it happen like from the get-go?
No, not from the get-go. Not from the get-go. Remember, this is another interesting part of our marriage journey. You know, I started moving in with him. My mom was not happy because I had an RTP house in Kaelicha. So I gave him that RTP because I didn't know where he stayed. I didn't know where he stayed.
What do you mean?
And he always took me to Waterfront to buy this expensive juice, water. It's taking me to Waterfront. I said, man, this is not life. We cannot live this life. Always taking me to fancy restaurant. No, man, I cannot live this life. I don't know your place, but you know what? And he was always with friends. He had a lot of friends. He was always with friends, 2 cars, and it would be his cars, you know, his car. Like he's the one pouring petrol in the car. And I said, you know what? There's a houseman in RTP house my uncle gave me before he died. So, man, let's go with his own money, not my money. I don't want to take credit of that. I took him to a Promenade Mall and said, let us go and buy basics, such as double bed, bedding, iron, you know, and ironing boards and everything. That's how we started.
So you mean to tell me during the time when you were suggesting that you should stay in the RTP, this guy didn't say, no, don't worry, I have a place to stay or something like that? You figured out, Utsi, Valley doesn't have a place to stay?
No, I heard you were sleeping in the cars.
Ah!
Yes. And now me being I wanted to play a psychologist role, you know. I had with a big heart, man, let me help him, let me do this. No, man, you know, I played a psychologist role without qualifications, you know, and my big heart costed me years, and I was trying to help him. No, man, he needs help. He needs help. So that's why I even gave him the house. To say, no, let him move in there, because I heard even from his workers that he's sleeping in the car. He doesn't have a place to stay. You know, one of his workers came to me, Upudzukile. He said to me, Sisi, you know what you did for our boss? They called him Umlungu. You know what you did for our Umlungu? We can see everything is changing in his life. We are so grateful and we appreciate you for that. Because each and every weekend when he got paid, Umlungu will sleep in the car. Umlungu will spend life with other girlfriends, you know. And there was a time where he nearly but in caravan where he stayed, he was staying in a caravan with his son, who's now 24 years. They told me about that story. The caravan caught fire because of the gas or something like that. So he was with another girlfriend, and they were drunk, both of them, and the child was there. The child lost the mother when she was giving birth to him in Hermanas. So they said they nearly died in there. So that's why that was his life.
But how did he become? Or you never got to speak about that? Or how did he become homeless?
No, I never even.
You never spoke about it.
I wanted to help.
Yeah.
Yes.
No. Once you're
I
on
wanted to help. I wanted to help him. Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
And now from him moving into your RDP house, that's when he now starts seeing other people and all that stuff?
No, at that time, I moved in with him because he said, no, I cannot stay alone in this house and all that. And now I said, nah, man, let me move in with him because you're going to be lonely and all this. And now I also realized that he's getting bored because I'm not drinking. That's another thing. And he would go out with friends. I would say, go out, man. I don't have a problem. I'm so chilled being at home. And, and when I felt pregnant, my mom was angry at me because you remember a mother's dream is to see their daughters going out,
Yeah, with the
getting
wedding,
married and
yes.
everything. So my mom didn't speak to me for, I think, about 3 months. Yes, the first trimester of my marriage, of my pregnancy, sorry, my mother wasn't, in like, talking to me. However, she came back. But she used to come and drop things, that I liked. I loved tomato when I was pregnant.
Yeah.
And the peaches. She will come and drop using ubabalwa. And she wanted to see me, which I'm safe or what.
Okay.
Yes. But eventually she came back and yes.
Okay, so I think the part that I'm missing is the part of how did he pay lobola after the baby was born?
Yes, after the baby was born.
Okay.
Yes, after the baby was born. It was November.
Okay, but the time when he paid the lobola, he was already showing you his colors.
The time before he paid the lobola, right? The time we met in Joburg, we met Umalume, Malume Thompson, his uncle. So we met Umalume. Already I knew his intentions. Ukuthi he wants to go home and paid lobola because they sent Ama brandy and everything to home when I was going home, coming from him for the first time. Ukuthi he wants a hand in marriage. So I already knew. Even the time I moved in with him, I already knew
It was in the
what
pipeline.
his intentions are.
Yeah.
And then he showed no signs that time. But then after giving birth, the day I gave birth, remember the time I was pregnant, when I said I was like crying and all that, he was partying, he was a party animal and all these things. So he started showing flames now. But now, me being this person that I am, I said, he will change, man. It's just a phase. It's just a phase. He will change. But that's when he was now showing me flames, what he's capable of.
Sure. And how was raising your son with him being present but absent at the same time?
Oh, it was difficult. However, I love children. I raised not my son only, his children as well, because he had 3 children before marriage.
Besides the one that the almost caught fire with?
Yes, he had 2. So he had 3 children. My son was the 4th child.
Okay.
So now they came to my place because I love children. So they stayed with me, they visited others, and my in-laws' children, they stayed with me as well.
Sure.
Yes.
So it was a full house.
Yes, it was a full house. I love children a lot. Yes, it was a full house. So for me, I didn't fill that gap because I was playing that role. And for me playing that role, I even forgot Uguti. Financially, he's there, but physically and mentally, emotionally, he's not there for the children.
You were carrying all of the
Yes, I was carrying everything on my own. Going to meetings, because even my brother-in-law, the youngest, Obed, I took him to come and study in Cape Town. I was going to meetings after meetings. Even my sister-in-law's daughter, Unonki, and Ukoketo, his daughter, they were studying in Cape Town. I will leave this meeting, going to that other one, and so that was my life.
Yeah.
Yes, and I was enjoying.
You were enjoying it. You didn't
Because I
mind
was not gun pointed. I was not forced.
Yeah.
Yes, I was doing everything out of my own will.
Yeah. And the in-laws, how did they feel about you? Because I know in cases like this, the in-laws would love you because, I mean, you're taking care of all of their children and all that stuff.
You know, with my in-laws, something is, with my in-laws, they were so, what did I say? As a breadwinner in your family, even if you are wrong,
Yeah, they can't
won't-
reprimand you.
Yes, you cannot be reprimanded. So that's the situation I was facing. Even though they appreciated what I was doing, but when it comes to their son, even if he's wrong, I'm the one who's wrong. So I was painted with this picture because each and every time we had arguments, you know, or disagreements, he will share with the in-laws, and I will be the bad person.
Oh,
Yes.
so he outsmarted you. He
Yes.
was sharing first
Yes.
so that by the time it
Exactly,
gets out
and
there,
they believe him in everything. I recall my mother-in-law. There was a meeting. This is so funny, girl. There was a meeting. You know, my sister, my brother-in-law's wife, Umama Kakarabo, called me, Usisi Matume, asking me, ukuthi, Mama Tsep, you've been doing a lot for our family and our children. Each and every year, you are dressing up our children for Christmas, for New Year, and for school. I felt so bad to hide this for you. There is something, there's a setup that is happening. That one of the brother-in-law who died, the girlfriend must get married to your husband. And the setup is done by our mother-in-law. And for me, I feel so bad. And being me, you know, I cannot hide it. I cannot, let me just confront it. Let me deal with it now. I cannot pretend. I called a meeting. You know, I love, you know, dealing with things head on, you know. I called the meeting, and then they came. And I said, I will be there. And with the ladies, because they were working in farms, you know. But you know, Masimung, they said, we will come. You know, I do have witnesses because this one, she told us while we had lunch sharing with us, this is what is happening. And mind you, I didn't care, Mina, when they were going to drop her. It's fine. This is the Ramuhulu, yes, to her child. So they can go, you know. So what happened is, now in this meeting, he came. We're all sitting as females now, ready for the meeting, you know. And then my mother-in-law is there. He came in and he said, he came from France. I don't know who told him that the meeting is taking place
this,
now.
yeah.
He's about to start. He came in and said, you know what? It's not worth it. Leave everything. This is not on. This is my mother, and I understand. But I just wanted the truth out of it. But okay, he said, no, the meeting is adjourned, and then he can't be having this meeting. So they had to leave.
Also, so he was protecting his mom.
Yes, because he knew about the plan.
So, but did the plan eventually fall into place? Did
No.
they didn't do it.
No, they didn't do it.
So all of this was supposed to be done behind your back.
Yes, it was done behind my back.
No, I mean, or they wanted to actually go ahead with the plan.
Yes, behind my back. Oh,
Sure.
yes, of course.
So Mara, then my sister, from you being this, because you were a nice person to them. I mean, even
Yes.
though you were not doing it because you're trying to get them to like you or, you know, get credit for anything, you were just doing it from your heart, like you are saying.
Yes.
But where does it go wrong to a point where you feel like enough is enough?
Okay, you know, let me share this before I respond on that. You know, my mother-in-law was like a twin to my mother. I didn't have both fathers from both sides. So my mother-in-law, I would dress them with the same clothes. I treated them the same, right? So I did not understand why she was doing that to me, because I even remember the first account, Yago Capitec, it was me who took her there as a makoti, you know. My mother-in-law, I dressed her up, you know, December time, like Abandwan, you know, because I believed I need to appreciate this woman. She gave birth to this husband I called my husband today, but it didn't work out. Where I decided to quit the marriage, it was in 2020. You know, he did a lot of things. So in 2020, during COVID, I was there to support him, doing everything. So I said to him, you know what? I called him. He didn't come home. I called him and I said to him over the phone, when are you coming back home so that we discuss us, because it's been now months you didn't come home. And he sold my car without
Wait.
even telling me.
So when he's not coming home, where is he?
Joburg, he's in Gauteng, Pretoria.
Oh, okay.
Because
And
he's a
then when
businessman,
okay.
he's in construction. So he had to move from Cape Town. So he was traveling all the time. So I was staying with the children in Cape Town. So now during COVID lockdown, like he was in Gauteng, he didn't come home. So now the business was not doing well. So I said when it was now at least open, I said to him, you need to come home so that we can talk about us and children, everything, about our lives. His response was that I'm not coming home anytime soon, and I'm not coming home even in December. I think that December, that's what triggered a lot of things in me. And I said to him, what do you mean you're not coming home even in December? You've got a wife here, children are here, like you've got family, your life is here. What do you mean? He said, no, I'm not coming home. I said to him, you know what? I think this is the time I'm taking a decision about my life. I need to take a decision about my life as well. He said, okay, I'm fine with it. Whatever decision you are taking or you are on, I'm on it. Whatever decision you are taking, I'm on it. Whether you leave, I will leave. Whether you stay, I will stay. It's up to you.
Because his life was continuing even with you in the picture. Because
Yes.
when you were just sitting waiting for him.
So I said to myself, oh, wow. Okay. That was the end of it. Until today.
Yeah?
A marriage of 14 years, 11 months, ended over the phone. We were together for 16 years. So the marriage ended over the phone until today. Not even let us sit and talk, apology or anything. I had to find closure. I had to accept and accept and start afresh in life. And remember, I said, Guti, we lost assets. We lost a lot of things.
COVID.
Yes, during COVID. And I was supporting him. I was still supporting him because I'm working for government, I was getting salary each and every month. So he had guts to call me for petrol. He had guts to call me for electricity. I didn't know that he was staying with another woman the time he called me for electricity.
Would you say that in looking back, in hindsight, you were in this marriage alone?
Yes, I was married alone. And I was doing everything on my own. I used to say, Guti, look, in my book, I wrote about the marriage that was 80-20% or 80-10% because he was just there because of I'm here. So that is why I'm even saying I kept myself on this cage that was not even locked.
Yeah.
Yes, it was not locked because he was not there. You know, when you don't even get compliments from your husband. I used to send messages because my love language is I'm a loud lover. And I'm a lover of note. I would send messages. I would try to communicate. He won't even respond. But I will be this understanding wife who could know he's very busy, man.
Yeah, you
I
made
understand.
excuses for him.
Yes, exactly. Yes.
Sure. So in terms of the process of dissolving the marriage, did you go through the court or is it just a matter of...
No, I didn't go through the court.
Okay.
Hence, in my book, I wrote about one of the chapters, Uguti, I want to also to empower others about this thing of getting divorced and remarry again when there are businesses involved. So I was caught in that as well. Hence, it was very easy for me to just leave in that marriage with nothing because I had nothing to fight for.
Yeah.
Because I was caught in that marriage, because he had businesses, he had a problem with SARS. So I had my mother's assets on my name. So I was advised with him by his own lawyers to let us divorce and remarry again. But I think it was his intentions because we never remarried again. Instead, he took assets out of my name to his brothers. It was a stressful chapter of my life that I even said to myself, Nontombi, don't fight for anything. Let go and let God.
So initially you guys were married in community of property.
Yes.
Then you had to divorce for the sake of the businesses.
Of the businesses that he had a problem with.
Yeah.
And I was told in those businesses that you are not part of the business. You are not. These are my business. You know, whenever we had disagreements, these are my businesses. You had nothing to do with it. You have nothing to do with my business. And So when things were not going his way, he told me that I've got a problem. So I had to call people because Mina, I'm a go-getter. And I had to try and call people, hey man, how can you help here? Please assist here. Even though I was told, Guti, no, you are not part of it. And yes.
Sure. Are you a true definition of a helper, Mtasekai? You were the helper.
Yes, but it costed me
Sure.
a lot.
So, okay, excuse me, because I feel like this part is going to be a very interesting part for people to learn about it at home. Okay. When it comes to, you know how when people are married and there's lobola that has been paid, but they never went to sign at home affairs, it's customary marriage, right? Meaning that even when they go their separate ways, they must divorce. They must file for divorce.
Yes.
In your case, that part is we are scratching it out because you guys were actually married in community or property and you went to sign.
Yes.
And then you divorced.
Yes.
So what is this thing now called that you guys have been married but you were divorced? Were you now just lovers or what?
We were married because the families didn't know about it.
Okay, so
it was our agreement.
It was your agreement.
Yes, and our the lawyer.
So now the divorce, how do you then divorce legally in this situation?
No, we were divorced legally in April, right? 2014. Because what happened is he told me this and I signed everything. And after that, after I signed everything, one thing that shocked me is that the final divorce documents didn't come to my place in Cape Town. I only discovered them in Bila Bila, in the chest of drawers. They were hidden in there with the documents, the car registration papers and everything. That's when I became aware that everything has been taken away from my name. It was then. Sure. So even the document, yes, the divorce, the final divorce order was hidden from me. And I was shocked when I found it in a safe, in our safe, because we had even a pub that we owned in Modimule. So everything was taken away from me. There's this document. And now, that's why I'm saying my in-laws were involved. Because after discovering this, I took everything, cleaning the room. I just kept everything in bed, and then I just decided to go to Wimpy and stayed there in Bila Bila. One of my brother-in-law's children called me. She said, Mam Hulukokai. I said, I'm in a town because I needed a breather. I couldn't believe, what is this now? We discussed this and now we are here. And then I said, how am I going to tell my mother? What am I going to say at home? Because it was an agreement between us as married
the
people.
parents were not aware.
Yes, they were not aware. So now, how am I going to say this now? Okay, I said, okay, it's fine. She said, Mam Hulu, where are you? I said, I'm in town. She said, we are being threatened to be assaulted here at home because we're going to get a hiding because then we showed you the papers. I said, but you don't even know about those things.
Yeah.
She said, it's so bad. I borrowed a phone from a neighbor. And it's Kuku, which is the grandmother, and Rangwani, and Ramuhulu, which is the husband. So I said, okay, God, which is everyone knows about this.
You're the only one who
so
doesn't
I'm
know.
the only one who doesn't know. Okay, but I forgave him after that. Sure. Again.
And you continued.
Why did I? Exactly. I continued. And I think it was a matter of, I don't want my son to grow up without a father. It was that. I said, no, he's going to change. Maybe he will learn from what he has done. Because he kept on asking me, we need to plan our wedding. We need to plan our wedding. Of which is, the wedding never materialized.
Yo, my sister, you see, when it comes to the issue of you guys getting a divorce, like on paper, I get it, there's a settlement agreement that you guys sign. Because I feel like the biggest lesson that I also learned from my own situation that I would love for you to share your partner is the importance of us, especially us as wives, reading documents before we sign. Because I do believe that a document was presented to you for you to sign, which details the things that you only discovered later on what it actually meant.
You are 100% right. I fully agree with you because in my book, I shared about it. Okuti, that was the biggest mistake of my life. I never read it because I trusted him.
Yeah.
Ukuti, I trust my husband. He's the father of my child, So I didn't expect what happened. I trusted him a lot. So only after I realized what was written in there. Yes. So I shared about that in my book. Ukuthi, be careful. Even in my line of duty now, I'm sharing with people, ukuthi, please, I will write a statement, our form at work. But I'll ask the person to sign. I'm just testing that person.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, I think it triggers a lot in me. I will just write and write and write when the person is like explaining to me of what is happening. Then I will ask the person to sign. When I'm done, I will say, okay, you signed without reading. I said, be careful because it happened to me.
Sure. Yes. Oh, and a lot of us wives, we sign without reading, hey?
Yes.
Sure. I think, you know what I think, Ne? Looking at your story, like going all the way back to how this man found you when you were at your lowest, and he was like a shoulder to cry on. He was like now stepping in and taking the position of a father figure because you lost two fathers at the same time. So you trusted him the same way you could trust a father, and you felt like there would never be a day where he would make a decision to put you in trouble. And unfortunately, we are learning later that, no, actually, this is not your father, ma'am.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yes, you are correct.
There's so many life lessons that we can actually learn from this.
Yeah.
You know? So when you end the marriage on the phone, do you ever get your parents involved? How is it now out there? Because legally you've been divorced for a while, but it's like it's more like a breakup now.
Yes. Yes. Remember, my mother was no longer there. And then I said, thank God she is no longer there because they were so close. And, I'm even saying today, if my mother was still alive, she would have collapsed right there because my mother was so, so supportive. And she was always there for us. When your parent, when you are going through tough times, she will just step in, as a mother to say, guys, I do have this. She would help financially as well, mentally, psychologically. She was always there, Mama. She was that person. But now my mother died in 2017. She had heart failure, kidney failure, and lung failure. I was taking care of her, and she was involved in a car accident. She was also stabbed by my father in my presence,
Sure.
Yeah. And the knife sharp point entered her back on the left, and then the sharp point exited the front. I was there. I'm the one who helped her, calling for the transport. So my mother would have died right on the spot because my mother was so supportive. And with my marriage, she was always there. She
wanted
was
what
not
is
going to
best
take
for
it
you.
very well. She was not going to take it well. She was breathing through oxygen machine 24/7, And that's another thing I'm saying, Goti. That is why for him, it was easy she took advantage. He took advantage that my mother was no longer there, because he respected my mother, I must say, But he took advantage that he's no longer there. He knew Goti, my mother is no longer there. So he can just do as he wishes. Yeah.
So now, after that one phone call that you're saying, it took one phone call to end the marriage. He's never reached out ever since then?
No, not at all. Even my in-laws, because my younger brother, Nontombi Luthuli, he's my younger brother. He's the brother that I'm left with. He's been a pillar, of strength. He's been so supportive because the day one, I came into his house. I said, Bror, listen, I'm quitting the marriage. He couldn't believe. I didn't know, ma'am. They calling me ma'am. No, ma'am, not you. They knew me. I treated him like a king. I loved my husband so dearly. So they knew me, man, not you. And then my brother called him. I was there. And then he said, Sbari, I think, I'm very young. I need to call our elders, because you paid lobola, everything was done through elders. So I think you need to come back now so that we discuss.
Yeah.
I'm not saying come back and be with my sister, but I can hear her, but I don't want to take her side. We want you to come. We said, no, I'm not coming. That's what he said. Said, no, I'm not coming. Whatever she's saying, take her side. It's fine. I'm not coming. My brother even, I think he was very hurt. He said, Smart, out of what you have done to her as a man, is this what you are saying about your marriage? You are not even prepared to fight. He said, no, that's it. Now, after that phone call, not even a single message. I had to find closure on my own. I must say it wasn't easy. It wasn't easy to a point where I was asking myself, what went wrong? What happened? I was all alone, like, he didn't even check up on me. You know, after, you break up, you will get a call, maybe a message, or to say good morning, or Happy New Year, because it was October 2020, November, December 31st. He was not there. Not even a Happy New Year call, I was expecting him to call me because I was with this person for 16 years. Nothing.
I feel like this man had checked out. Okay, obviously from the beginning of the marriage, he was never really there, But I feel like when it comes to the union that you had and he was stringing you along, by the time you said that it's fine, we can end the marriage, he had already checked out a long time ago. He had already moved on with his life. It's just that he didn't want to be the one that actually initiates the whole thing of saying the relationship has come to an end. That's why he was not even bothered by anything.
You are right, because even myself, as what I said, now or later, I would he already moved on, because now I had to do introspection, sitting down and saying, Nontombi, what went wrong? Nontombi, like to understand, Nontombi, who am I and all that, because remember, through the process of healing, I had to understand myself. What do I like? And like, what went wrong, why did you keep on forgiving him and all this after what he has done to you? So now I realized, Oguti, he was long gone.
Yeah.
And now I was putting the puzzle together to say, even the time he took me to his girlfriend, who lied about me, one of his employees' wife, he was not there. How do you take your wife to somebody who lies about her and somebody you have a relationship with?
Sure.
He had guts to take me to that woman.
To do what?
That woman lied about me to say I sent people to her, Oguti, asking Oguti who is dating him at work.
Okay.
So Mina was shocked because he was shouting at me. I said, man, I don't know this. Wait, I'm coming home so that we can go to this person, because I said I'm dealing with things head on. So let us go to this person. He had a nerve to take me there, knowing exactly that they are dating. And this woman is working for him. She's a painter. And their husband is a tiler. In the same, yes.
So they were having an office affair.
Yes.
So how did you now get to involve your son in all of this? Because remember, when you were still there in Cape Town, you had all these kids from your in-laws. Yes. How do you make sure that everybody just goes their separate ways and it's just you and your son?
I bottled up things on my own, because my cousin was my helper at home. I never shared with her about my true identity dilemma. I never shared with her about the other things that I was going through in life and what I have gone through. Now, I think it was a time for me to say enough is enough. I'm tired. I'm drained. I don't want to cry. I'm exhausted. I needed to share with someone to say, this is what I'm going through. And I've been going through this all alone. And now is the time. I think, Sisi, I need to share with you. When I approached her, I said, Sisi, you don't know about my true identity dilemma. And this is the time I share with you. It's painful. Let me talk about it. And it was 2020, I remember. I spoke to her. I said, Sisi, this is too much for me to bear. I felt like a walking grave at some point, because I witnessed my son's death, which is my stepson, who was 21 years old. I never dealt with that. I never grieved him because my mother just died in 2017. My stepson died in 2018. It was few months apart. Now I'm dealing with the marriage. I'm also bottling up my true identity dilemma. Now, there's a lot that is happening. I need to approach my son to tell him this is the decision that I've taken. So it was too much for me, and I had to sit down and told my cousins, this is what I'm going through. I spoke to my son as well. I said, boy, this is what is happening. My son broke down. I called my stepson. You know what my stepson said? Mama, why did you? My stepson. His eyes were red. Uazola said, Mama, why did you? You should have left him long time ago. He doesn't deserve you.
Sure.
My son was crying by that time. I said, boys, this is what is happening. And please, I want you to grow together as brothers. I'm leaving Cape Town now to start a new life. He cried. He said, you are the only mother that I know as a mother. But why did you endure this pain?
Because, sis, a lot of times we always say that we are staying in these relationships for our kids. Do we ever get to ask the kids if they want us to stay torturing ourselves for them?
We don't even involve them at some point, because my son had an incident where he hit another girl. I had to go and apologize, only to find out he noticed that the father is not there.
Sure.
And when I called the father to say this is what happened, I couldn't find him on the phone. And I called to Putmadinki, please intervene, because my son is crying. I think he needs someone now. He spoke to Putmadinki and opened up to him that, I've been seeing this happening. My father is no longer there for us, for my mother. You know, my son, what he said? I was so shocked. He said, Mama, I think I'm going to get you someone from the gate now. And I was still with his father. Only now he told me, Kuti Mama, I knew about my father's girlfriends, and wow. But he couldn't share with me. Yes.
So when you look back at all of these things and what you allowed, do you ever have a conversation with your son, or just, do you feel like you robbed them, or you delayed them, or even yourself, do you feel like there's ever a point where you need to apologize for exposing them to such, anything like that?
Yes. Yes. In my book, chapter 17 is dedicated to my son, Tsepo, my hope. My son has been through a lot. Yeah. So I failed. I feel like I failed him as a mother, because I wanted to leave that marriage long time ago while he was still young. But I chose to stay because I was under the impression that he's going to change. I don't want my son to live, to grow without a father, but not knowing that I'm hurting my son. I'm damaging my son in the midst of everything. Even today, I'm saying, Guti, how I wish I left when he was still young. He wouldn't have gone through what he has been through now. There was a day when I came in Pretoria. We slept on the floor together. There was a day, it was very hot, and I came from work. And I was praying to God, please save my son, because I don't want him to do drugs. I don't want him to go on the other side, and God granted me that blessing, because my son passed his matric. And this day I came home. He rolled himself over his bed. The first thing that came to my mind what if he committed suicide? I called him, Tsepo. He didn't respond. Dude, I called him, dude. Hey, Ntwana, wake up. He didn't respond. I guess he was fast asleep. But as a mother who has gone through the most, I was thinking about him. And I tried to shut me up, but he did not even move. He took his sleeping bag, the blanket, and rolled over. It was very hard. And I didn't understand. I went to the room and prayed, God, please, it's not what I think. And I had to go back again. That's where he said, Ma, I cried. I went to my room and locked the door and said, thank you, Lord. It's not what I was thinking. It's not what I was thinking, because I was thinking, what if he committed suicide? I will never forgive myself, because I know what he was going through. It was too much for him. Losing assets, losing everything. Remember, he's coming from this big house, having this fleet, now coming to stay in a flat. So, yeah, but my son is a very strong child, very strong, and he's been there. And at times, he doesn't talk, but you will see actions. He'll just give me a hug. You know, now, the last day of his exams, I was taking a shower. He came to my room and gave me a hug and started crying and said, Mama, thank you so much. You've been there for me from day one until the last day of my school. This is my last exams. I couldn't believe. I said, God, what is this? I didn't even know he realized that Mama was always there. But wow.
They see everything.
This is God's grace. Yes.
They see everything.
Yes.
I think that's also a very important lesson for parents, to be aware that these kids, they see everything.
Yes.
They
And
see your efforts.
we need to engage them because we are raising broken sons and daughters because we don't engage them. We don't talk to them. We don't give them an ear to listen to them, to hear how they feel, because divorce is painful, but it's worse on our children.
Yeah.
Because even my stepson, even today, he's still calling me. That's the relationship we have. Yeah.
Sure. Have you, because we're about to get to the ending, have you entirely forgiven yourself for all the mistakes you have made and the disappointments, especially with your son?
Yes, I had to. But with my son, I don't think really until I fulfill the dream that I want for him. For him, his side, because I have dreams about him.
Yeah.
Yes. I said, I don't care who says what. I'm the one who knows what my son has been through in this journey of life.
Yeah.
But with what happened in the life journey and everything in my past, I have forgiven myself for that.
Thank God for that. Where are we now? How is life now?
I think I need a sip of water because this is a very interesting part of my life that I needed to share with people as well. Because you know what? Writing my book, it was a painful episode of my life. You know, I was in isolation, in pain. This book is so painful that people, when they share with me, Okuti, I've read your book. This is a testimony and that. It's very painful. I cried, but the ending. But they don't know the ending as yet because the ending that they know is how I overcame. They don't know the grace of God, where I am now.
Sure. Yeah, ne?
You know, God is amazing. God is amazing. This beautiful chapter of my life, it's the grace of God. And we need to share with people, to give hope to people about what is happening currently. This book I wrote in pain. I had to go back to all the scenes, the incidents, in pain, crying. I was in pain, It was too much for me. I became so emotional writing this book. My pain is here. My pain is in this book. But God gave me an ending that I had never thought of. This chapter of my life is so amazing. Where to start? Where to start? Let me start with the attire I'm wearing. This is from my mother-in-law.
Wow.
This is the gift for December from my mother-in-law. I'm having a fiance.
Wow.
I'm getting married. And I want to say to people, Ukuti, I was treated like trash. There's a saying that another man's trash is another man's treasure. This is what is unfolding in my life now. This is a beautiful chapter.
Congratulations, by the way. Congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much for that. This is an amazing chapter of my life. I prayed to God in 2024. My book was launched in 2023. 2024, I said, God, why am I attracting men with similar qualities with my ex-husband? What is it with me? I need to do a cleansing. I need to do a prayer of detachment, cleansing myself from that previous marriage, because some men, they come into my life with bad intentions, and Mina, I'm giving them my all. So what is it? I said, God, I'm wiser, but still I'm attracting men with narcissist, behavior, and but what is it? So I started now praying in January 2024, and God blessed me with a partner. I want to share this with you. After I launched my book in 2023, in July, I launched my book in Cape Town, in Khayelitsha, where I was born, because it's my pride. In Xhosa, we say ligugu, So I had to go and launch my book in Khayelitsha, in the township. This book is produced in Khayelitsha. People must know. I was selling umhodu in Khayelitsha, wearing gumboots. I was raised by Imbokodo, Ikawekazi. My mom, she was selling Imbokodo. She was a domestic worker, before and all that. So now I had to go back home. So I launched my book on the 22nd of July, 2023. I had to go back to my school, where I shared e-pads, donated pads and soccer balls and all that, because I am a giver. That's me. I am a giver of note. I used to cook. I used to share with people that I don't even know. That's Nontombi for you. So on the 24th, I had to go back to where I worked. There's chapter 5 in my book where I shared to go to where I worked. I was a police officer, wearing uniform, carrying a gun, I'm so proud that I never shot at my ex-husband when I caught him sleeping with another woman. So I had my Z88 fully loaded with one up, but I controlled my emotions. In fact, God helped me to control my emotions. And today I would have been in jail. I wouldn't have sitting here. But yeah. So I worked for IPID. Yes, for the Western Cape IPID. I worked for the Western Cape Police Ombudsman. I worked for the Western Cape Department of Community Safety. I am now working for the Civilian Secretariat for Police Service in Pretoria Central. So I've been in the public sector for over 20 years. So now, in 2023, after the book launch, 24th, I had to go and deliver the books on Monday to my colleagues. I saw a friend that I met in 2011, 12, 13. He was married. I was married. So when I met him on the 24th, I was using the staircases. He was on the lift. I was with my cousin, Usenzo. I saw him there. And then I said to Senzo, here's my friend. I last saw him in 2013 when I left IPUD. We've never bumped into each other. So, no, man, let me go and greet him. I went back with the stairs. And then we exchanged numbers. He was so excited. That was it. In August, he just checked up on me. And then he didn't say anything. So January, I started with this prayer. 20th of February, another friend we grew up with proposed. But I said, I know, God, it cannot be. And then he wanted me as a second wife.
Yo.
I said, God, it cannot be. And then he said, no, I see a wife material in you and blah, blah, blah. I said, but God, this is not it. This is not what I prayed for. Hayi nkulunkulu, no. Hayi mayidlulele ndebe, you know. And then on the 6th of March, now, my friend proposed. In Xhosa, Nontombi Luthuli, ndicela ube ngumkam. And make me the happiest man in the world. Nontombi Luthuli, please be my wife. And make me the happiest man in the world. I said to him, no. Where is your wife? Because the last time I checked, you were married. And he said to me, I know, man, man, you know. And he said to me, I'm no longer married. Okay? And then he said, no, I am divorced. It was 2021 already. Oh, okay. I said, you know what? I am broken to the core. I am damaged. I am a damaged good man. I don't think you mean what you are saying. Because now I'm broken. He said, I don't love the broken Nontombi. I love you, Nontombi, as a person. Sure. I love you. I'm not talking about your brokenness. I'm not talking about damage, Nontombi. I'm talking about Nontombi, the person. I said, oh, okay. Now, I ignored his calls. I didn't give him anything, because I thought, good, man. He is, I treated him like the others.
Yeah.
I said, man, when you are treating this potato in the same bag, you are painting them in the same brush. That's what I did. So I had to go to Cape Town because my book was nominated for awards. And I didn't want him to know my whereabouts, girl. I said, no, because I know, But guess what? He kept on trying, calling me until I came back to Pretoria. On the 22nd, 21 of Sunday, 21 of April, I was jogging. And I ignored his call. When I came home, I said, no, man, let me call him back. And I said, dude, let's do this. He was happy. I said, okay. 22nd of April, I said to my son, dude, now you've been asking me about a stepfather. This is the gift for you. Sure. There's a man in my life. Like straight like that. I said, there's a man. It's your gift for your birthday. This is the gift I'm giving to you. Yeah. There's a man in my life. Oh, okay. On the 24th, he said to me, my mom wants to meet with you. Your mom? Are we even there? I said, okay, God. I said, but I prayed. And now we started communicating. He was a good communicator. He was there. I said, God, I was specific in my prayer. I must mention that. I said, God, please bless me with a partner or no mama. And because I'm longing for a mother figure. But God decided to bless me with a husband and with qualities beyond my expectations. So now, mama wants to see you. Oh, wow. On the 6th of May, I met my mother-in-law who bought me this attire for the first time. It was like we met a long time ago. We're a happy family. He's got one son, which is Umnoza, of which is now we are a family of 5 now.
And plus, when you come with experience of knowing how to take care of.
Exactly. Best stepmother, you know. So now, Umnoneleli is our son, Utsepo is our son, Now I met Umama, I met Utata. Wow. What a wow. A loving father-in-law. He's in PE at Gqeberha. Utata Zala wa Moqhamela. I met him for the first time. What a loving father. Our conversations, if I can show you my phone, Utata will call me at 1:00, 1:30. My fiance, Uchangisa, his clan name Uchangisa, Ukhudulu, Oskomo, Umhlatyana. You know, Umgwevu will call me. I'm not struggling with anything. We are connecting. There is this chemistry. I'm even saying to people, there is life after divorce. True love exists. And he is my soulmate.
Yeah.
We were meant to be because everything is flowing, everything is flourishing. When I'm with him, I don't know, Unje. I'm just free. You know, I even started running last week, Saturday, my 5 kilometers every morning. Even today, I did my 5 kilometers because I was so relaxed. Because Umzo is, his name is Ubanjwa. Umzo is that husband who cooks porridge for you. Mili porridge. He cooks for everyone at home. Calling me, baby, let's come and eat. We eat together, porridge. So ngati, no, kuningi now. I'm gonna be, you know, I'm already chubby, but there's no way. He's ironing for me, polishing my shoes. So he's that kind of a lover, a kind of a husband. I'm not struggling with anything, supportive and caring. He's the man of my dreams, a man of integrity, man of principles and values. He's a loving husband. I even said to my brother yesterday when we had a conversation, I said, even if I will die tomorrow or tonight, I will die a happy soul because I have never experienced this love.
Sure.
That Umgwevu is giving me. Even today, I'm still in disbelief. God, what is this? Yes, I prayed, but wow, what a blessing. This is God's grace.
Sure.
I am blessed beyond measure. As I said, Guti, I need to come up with a follow-up book so that people know, Guti, there is hope. Because yes, I cried in this book. I wrote this book in pain. You can see this book is raw. It is raw. I wrote this book in pain. But now, there is this beautiful chapter of my life. And everything is flourishing. Everything is blooming. We're praying together. I had to spend my December with my family. I must say, my mother-in-law is a gem. She's loving. My father-in-law, my husband, we spend time together. My stepson, like my son, Umnoneleli.
Sure.
We are open to each other. We are free. And I love how my husband love his mother. Because Tina, as Abumakoti, we just want to come to the families to change things, to take over. But
sure.
I really, you know, when they say, Ikuti, your husband, the way he treats his mother,
it's exactly how he's going to treat you.
This is what is happening to me.
Sure.
This is how he treats. He irons for my mother, of which is I love that. Yes.
Sure, that is amazing, sis.
So on the 2nd of November, he paid Ilobola. Yes. That is a respect for my family.
Yeah.
Yes. So I'm saying to people, there is life after divorce. So I've met my soulmate. I said, yes, a beautiful love. I said, my divorce led me to my soulmate's loving arms.
Yeah.
Because my husband, he is disciplined. And in the gym, he's consistent. And came like, you know, I had this, I was specific to God when I prayed. I said, I wanted someone on my muscles, you know.
That's very important,
yes.
you know. Prayer.
And God gave me exactly that. And beyond what I prayed for.
Sure. That is amazing, sis. You know, like you were saying already, this needs to restore hope, you know, to people. And it's going to do exactly that. You owe us a follow-up book. We need that book. And I'm so happy for you, you know. More than anything, and as much as we can always go back to the pain that we've been through, there's nothing that beats happy ending. Because it really shows, we would say, God is a God who restores and God is a God who still blesses. You are not done until God says it's over. And they look at you now. And also another thing that I feel like a lot of people can learn from you is the fact that if it's not working out, let go and give yourself room for something better. Yes. You know, create that room for something better. We have to wrap up now. I've been enjoying this. Just let us know, where do we get you on the socials? Where do people get the book? And also, please, can you promise me one thing? Yes. Say yes first before I ask.
Oh, my word. Say yes first.
Because I have witnesses. All these cameras are the witness of what you're about to promise.
Say yes.
So it's a yes.
Yes, you know what today? I'm thinking. But anyway, invitation to the wedding.
Yes. Invitation to the wedding.
You will definitely get the invitation.
You see, guys, if you
You
don't
will.
see me at a wedding,
I would
her wedding, you must know or she lied. So I'm definitely coming to the wedding.
Oh, yes, you are.
Oh, Sissy, I'm so happy for you, my darling.
Oh, thank you so much.
And I'm so inspired.
God is amazing.
I'm so inspired. I'm encouraged by your story because I know I'm right behind you when it comes to getting another marriage.
God's grace, you will.
Yes.
You will, my sister.
So where do the people get you?
Nontombi Luthuli on Facebook. My number is 081 282 4719. 081 282 4719.
Okay.
That is Nontombi Luthuli. I'm on Instagram as well, Luthuli Nontombi.
Okay.
Yes.
So the people actually get the book on WhatsApp. They order it on
Yes,
WhatsApp.
they can order via WhatsApp. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
No, that's amazing. Thank you so much, Sissy, for joining in. But Alani, you heard it for yourself. Please go get the book and also wait for my vlog when I go to her wedding. Ne? But anyway, with that being said, thank you so much for joining in. We will see you guys on the flip side. Please leave a beautiful comment, Bazalwan. A comment of hope, a comment of just, feeling you must be inspired. If you're not inspired, then there's something wrong with you.
I know we are wrapping up. I just want to say, Guti, we need to embrace love.
Yes.
And instill love in our children. We are raising broken sons and daughters because we don't teach them. We don't embrace love as their parents.
Yeah.
One day I will share with you why I'm saying this.
Okay. I know Nizwile Bazalwane, we have to embrace and also teach our children love. I cannot emphasize this enough. My sister, you've already said it all. Ne? I will see you guys on the flip side. I love you. God bless you. Mwah.